Hello YouTube. In this video I'll show you how to remove and cap off safely a radiator ready for decorating. If you do not feel confident doing this, then do call a plumber, but this will be every step that you need to get the job done, and then you don't need to call a plumber. Just make sure you do it safely, and if you're scared then just call a plumber. First of all, grab yourself an old towel and grab yourself a foldable bucket. All the links to all these tools are in the description. A set of grips, a spanner, a screwdriver set, a pencil, some gloves are optional, some 3/4 and 1/2 inch caps and washers, and some PTFE and a vent key. So start off by turning the TRV all the way to 0 like so, and on the other side remove the cap and turn it clockwise to shut it all the way down. And replace the cap. Then open the vent and make sure the water stops running. If the water continues to run, then you have a problem with your TRV or your lock shield valve, and you'll need to drain the whole heating system and change these valves. But if the water stops and nothing comes out when you completely remove the vent pip, then you can carry on with this video and it's safe to work on this radiator. If you're not competent with this, then do call a plumber, but this will save you some money following it step by step, because adding everything from this basket in the description still works out cheaper than calling out a plumber to remove one radiator or 4. So as you can see, no water's coming out, so I'm going to replace the vent back in and tighten that up like so. Then grab your foldable bucket and place it underneath the TRV valve like so. Grab yourself your grips and your spanner, and you want to grab the body of the valve so it doesn't move. Adjust your grips and your spanner, locate it on the nut, and lefty loosey crank it upwards until it cracks like so. Then loosen this and you'll see a few drops of water continue to flow into the bucket. Don't panic, this is absolutely normal. Give it a few more turns. You know it's safe to work on because no water came out of the vent. So you can then undo this with your fingers and then let the water drip into your bucket like so. Now what I'm doing here is you can control the water flow coming out of this by unscrewing the vent and letting air in. And as you see, the more air you let in, the faster it will flow out. You don't have to do this, but it just speeds the process up. If you're not confident enough, just let it dribble in. It will take about 15 to 20 minutes though. But if you do this, it will take a couple of minutes. As you can see, it's a full flow of water going into that bucket. And I've completely removed the pin, and it's a safe flow of water into the bucket. Once it has gone to a dribble like so, you can then work on the other side of the radiator. So it's then turned to a dribble, so you know there's hardly any water left in the radiator. Moving on to the other side of the radiator, I'm going to do the same thing. Hold the body of the valve with my grips and crank the other nut anti-clockwise, which on this side is down. Now there will be a tiny bit of water here, but obviously you've got your towel here to catch it. You can quickly put your thumb over it once you've undone it. Just contain the water inside the radiator like so, and then you're going to lift one end of the radiator and pour the water into your bucket. Now look closely, this dirty water inside, this black water, you do not want to get on any carpet or any clothing because this will stain. So that's why you've got to carefully pour it into a bucket and then place it on a flat surface. And you must replace these vent keys because we're going to turn it upside down and it will keep the water, the dirty water, inside the radiator. So with them nice and tight, you can then flip the radiator up and over like so. You do this so you can now transport it and there won't be any leaks anywhere. I'm just writing on the back of the radiator whereabouts in the house this was from, so I've just put study on it. And now we're going to put the caps and washers on the valves. So get your 1/2 inch cap, make sure the surface is clean, turn it backwards until it clicks, and then finger tight on, and then just give it a nip with your grips or spanner, just so you can feel it nice and tight. Don't go too mental because you'll ruin the washer. You'll feel it go a little bit tight like so, and that's plenty. And the same again with the other side. This might be 3/4, so that's why in the description box I've put 1/2 inch and 3/4. 1/2 inch is a smaller size nut and 3/4 is the bigger size nut. And then once again, just give it a nip up. If you're not sure what size, then it's best just to get both. Then grab yourself your pencil, and you want to mark the screw holes on your fixings, because you want this to go exactly back where it went. So on here, I'm just writing left and right on the brackets because they need to be on the same side. Otherwise the holes won't line up and the radiator will be in a different position. So I've put left and right, and then at the top I've just put study, because if you're taking multiple radiators off, you don't want to get confused. And then the center of the screw hole, just make a line and a line, so then you know exactly where the center of the screw hole should be on replacing these brackets. Then grab yourself a screwdriver. You can use an electric screwdriver here, but I've just got a manual one. I'm just removing the screws and then replacing the screws back in the holes so you know exactly where the fixings are. You don't want to lose these fixing holes because it will just make your life a lot more harder. Replacing screws on both sides, and also they don't get lost. Then get them brackets and put them inside the radiator and put that wherever you're storing it. And there you go. There is how you correctly isolate and drain a radiator and remove ready for decorating. If this video has helped, please do like it and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care.